Okay, it is 7 o'clock, so this is a meeting of the Redevelopment Agency of Tooele City, meeting in a business meeting today, October 4th, and we are meeting in the City Hall Council Chambers located in 90 North Main. You can also view this on the YouTube channel, Tooele City YouTube channel. So we'll open this meeting with a roll call. Board Member McCall?
Present.
Board Member Hanson?
Present.
Board Member Brady?
Present.
Board Member Graff?
Present.
And I am Board Member Manzione. I am also present. The first item of business is Resolution 2023-10, a resolution of the Redevelopment Agency of Tooele City, Utah, approving an agreement for snow removal from public streets and rights-of-way within Peterson Industrial Depot and Ninigret Depot, presented by Debbie Nguyen, Executive Director.
Thank you very much. Board members, tonight this resolution is to approve the annual, we bring this back to you every year, this contract with Peterson Industrial Depot to take care of the snow plowing out on the industrial depot, the Peterson Industrial Depot. And that nothing has changed with the contract that we have used for previous years. It works out very well for us. They are able to plow those public roads in a timely manner, a lot quicker than we can get to them to keep our businesses going, especially now with the school district and others located out at the depot. It's great to be able to rely on them. Like I say, the contract has not changed. October 2023 through April of 2024, we pay them $1,500 each month, and then at the end of April we get together and go over all the hours that they've spent and also the cost for salt that they apply to those roads. And we are hoping very much that we have another winter like we had last year, and that we will owe them some additional money at the end of the year because we need the water. So that's the agreement tonight that we're bringing for your approval.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, then I would entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve Resolution 2023-10.
Second.
Okay, thank you. It's been moved by Board Member Brady and seconded by Board Member McCall to approve Resolution 2023-10 as presented. We'll take that to a vote. Board Member McCall?
Aye.
Board Member Hanson?
Aye.
Board Member Brady?
Aye.
Board Member Graff?
Aye.
And Board Member Manzione, I also vote aye. Thank you. Passes 5-0. Item number 4 are invoices, and these will be presented by Michelle Pitt, the RDA Secretary.
Thank you. We just have one invoice for the RDA to consider. It's for the Main Street Revitalization Pass-Through Grant, and it is going to Holly Jones. The amount is $37,500.
Okay, if there aren't any questions, can I have a motion to approve the invoices?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the invoice.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Board Member Graff and seconded by Board Member Hanson to approve the invoice. Board Member McCall, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Hanson?
Aye.
Board Member Brady?
Aye.
Board Member Graff?
Aye.
And I am Board Member Manzione. I also vote aye.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda are the minutes of the September 20th, 2023 RDA business meeting. Do you have any corrections?
No. Madam Chair, I move that we approve the minutes for September 20th of 2023.
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Board Member Hanson, seconded by Board Member Brady to approve the minutes of September 20th, 2023 RDA business meeting. Board Member McCall, how do you vote?
Aye.
Board Member Hanson?
Aye.
Board Member Brady?
Aye.
Board Member Graff?
Aye.
I am Board Member Manzione. I also vote aye. Thank you. And that brings us to the last item, which is to adjourn.
All right, the hour being 7:04 p.m. on Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. The Tooele City Council is meeting in a business meeting. This is being held at Tooele City Hall in the council chambers located at 90 North Main Street. This is also being broadcast on the Tooele City YouTube channel. We will start with our Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please rise and repeat after me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our second item is a roll call. Councilwoman Manzio.
Present.
Councilman Graff.
Present.
Councilman Hanson.
Present.
Councilman McCall.
Present.
And Councilman Brady, I'm also present. We'll move on to item 3, which is the Mayor's Youth Recognition Awards.
All right, it's an honor to be able to present these awards tonight, the Mayor's Youth Recognition Awards. We do this once a month to recognize youth that are in our community that really provide great service to others. They love their fellow man and do great things for them, and we want them to be recognized. So tonight, I'm going to ask our police chief, Adrian Day, to come up and help me to give out these awards this evening. We've got a special backpack that's full of great things from some of our local businesses. So we're going to give these out tonight. And the first recipient of our award tonight is Yezin. Yezin, I got it right. Yezin. Okay, you're going to help me here with your name. Yezin Al-Dulami? El-Dulami. He says it so beautiful. Tell everybody how to say it.
Yezin El-Dulaimi.
Is that most beautiful? That is so wonderful. So Yezin was nominated by Becky Darling and another name that I'm going to struggle with, LaKelly Bender, from Clark Johnson Junior High School. Awesome junior high school. And Yezin is exceptionally polite and is a respectful student. His teachers say that he sets a great example for other students. The other students see his example and want to, in turn, be better themselves. Yezin has a great attitude in school and class as well. He brings his knowledge of his culture to his classes, which makes the lessons more interesting. He is extremely helpful in classes in both Portuguese and math. You speak Portuguese. Learning, aren't you?
Yeah.
Portuguese and math. When Yezin completes his assignments, he takes the initiative to help his peers without teacher direction. This is extremely helpful as sometimes it's difficult for his teachers to get to everyone in a timely manner. He doesn't just give his peers the answers, he helps to direct them to the knowledge that they need. His positive attitude is contagious as well, and he's a fun kid to have around. So congratulations. Please help me again recognize Yezin.
He wants a selfie.
Selfie time.
That's awesome.
It's fun.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. This is why we do this. Okay, the next recipient this evening for our Mayor's Youth Recognition Award is a student from Blue Peak High School and was nominated by Principal Marble. And so, Riot Lynn, would you please come up to the front? All right. So Riot has been an exceptional student. This is what the principal says. Have you been called to the principal's office? Only for good stuff. I know that. Yeah, principal knows you. In the first mini term, they recovered 1.25 credits. That's a big deal. Big deal, good deal. Riot has been working extremely hard in the classroom by showing up on time, attending consistently, and being a great leader. That's what we need, great leaders. They are also taking 2 CLC courses and has an incredible talent in drawing. Do you like to draw? Great. This student has impressed school leaders with their dedication and hard work in and out of the classroom. Congratulations, Riot. All right, and our last award this evening, Mayor's Youth Recognition Award. This is for a student from the Tooele Junior High School, and it is for Maisie Ray. Maisie, come on up. All right. So, Maisie was nominated by Principal Norton from Tooele Junior High School. Mr. Norton said that first and foremost, Maisie is an excellent student. Her teachers reported that she is very dedicated in her classwork and never settles for good enough. She is always willing to go the extra mile. In school, she is part of our drama program and student government and is a quiet leader in both organizations and has been a part of the district's Portuguese DLI program. Another Portuguese speaker. Awesome. She is also involved in several extracurricular activities, including basketball, volleyball, and robotics. And in her spare time, she plays both the cello and piano. Maisie is well liked by her fellow students and is always willing to lend an extra hand and look for ways to get students involved at Tooele Junior High School. So help me give another round of applause to Maisie. Thanks, Chief. So as you can see, these students definitely deserve our recognition for being the wonderful people that they are. And I will tell you from experience of working in the mayor's office for a few years that there are many adults that should look up to you for the way that you treat other people. We live in a world sometimes that's very difficult, and it's easy to become self-centered and to only worry about ourselves. But you are showing us how important it is to take care of each other and be kind to one another. So thank you very much for being that kind of a person. Also, I want to thank the family members, grandmas and grandpas, moms and dads, brothers and sisters. You are all a part of this, and you have helped to make these individuals the people that they are because of how you are. So thank you to you for being the influences that you are on these students. So we would like to take a picture of each of our students. So if each of you will take that little certificate, hand the backpack and the little paper, other paper to your family members there. But get your certificate, and we're going to bring the city council out, and we're going to go out in the rotunda here to take pictures. So all the rest of you, get your cameras ready, and we'll go out and take a bunch of pictures because we're going to put this on our Facebook page, our social media. We're also going to put it in the local newspaper, the Transcript Bulletin, and as you heard at the beginning of the meeting, this meeting is being recorded and it is on YouTube. So any of your family members that couldn't be here tonight, you have them look at the Tooele City channel on Facebook and they'll be able to see you get this award. So everybody help me give another round of applause to our recipients tonight, and we'll go out and take a picture.
All right, congratulations to the recipients for that award. We'll move on to item 4, which is the Domestic Violence Awareness Month proclamation. This is presented by Mayor Debbie Nguyen.
Thank you, Chairman. Tonight, I would like to present to you a proclamation. It is a basic human right to live a life free from violence and abuse. Domestic violence is a serious problem that occurs in all cultures and communities and does not discriminate by age, gender, social class, race, ethnicity, religious affiliation, or sexual orientation. Both men and women in Utah experience intimate partner violence, and most families with intimate partner violence have children who are also impacted by the violence. Seniors are also victims of domestic and sexual violence and are part of the most underreported group. Awareness and intentional collaboration are required to find solutions to abuse and intimate partner violence. It is the role of local government to provide for the health, safety, and welfare of its citizens. Therefore, I, Deborah E. Nguyen, Mayor of Tooele City, Utah, in partnership with the South Valley Services Pathways, do hereby proclaim October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In the city of Tooele, we urge all residents to use October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month to learn how they can break the silence and end domestic violence in our community. So I have signed this proclamation, and I would also like to welcome up here to present to you for a few moments Wendy Stilson, who is the Pathway Shelters Director, and I want her to tell you all about the wonderful work that they do. We wish that this service was not needed. Come on up. We really wish that it was not needed, but because it is, Wendy and her staff and her people are always here to help those that are in need. And so I'll turn the time over to you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Deb. Good evening. Such an honor to get to be here and stand in front of you, Chief Day. Also, a great supporter for Pathways and the hard work that they do, especially in these situations. And Mayor Nguyen for, last year we were honored to have her speak with us at our event in the park, and that was such a beautiful event. So I just wanted to kind of piggyback this proclamation that the governor had sent out, if you noticed it a couple days ago, but just want to share just a little bit with you. So this month, we remember and honor the victims of domestic violence. Their stories are not just statistics. The staggering numbers in Utah are 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men are victims of domestic violence, higher than the national average. The U.S. Justice Department reported in 2021 that around 15.5 million children are exposed to domestic violence yearly. In Utah last year, there were 80 domestic violence-related homicides. They are the voices that I am speaking for to you tonight. By sharing their stories, we bring awareness. I'm sorry, I get emotional, but my passion is deep. By sharing their stories, we raise awareness and we ensure that they will never be forgotten. As we prepare to embark on this crucial month of awareness, I hope that we can reflect on the lives that we have tragically lost. At Pathways, we are an emergency shelter, 12-bed facility that will shelter men, women, and children. We also provide community advocacy, so if an officer calls us from the scene, we hope to be able to speak to the victim there at the scene and provide shelter. Not everybody seeks shelter, as we all know, but to be able to offer community advocacy as well, whether we're helping with protective orders, we're attending court, we're helping with housing, we're helping with food and clothing, and all of those things. And as we became part of South Valley Sanctuary, South Valley Services in May, we've been able to expand to where we'll be able to do more prevention and education in the community, which we're really, really excited for. We've not had that opportunity in the past. The other thing that we're really excited about that we've not had the opportunity before is to bring volunteers into our program and to have a volunteer basis, whether it be shelter advocates, whether it be somebody teaching a group, whether it be somebody teaching cooking skills, life skills, helping us with maintenance, painting, all the things that we need to be able to keep us going. I just want to end by saying each journey is so unique, and as Mayor Wynn said, it doesn't discriminate, whether it be an elderly person, a young person. There's so many in the in-betweens, and there's never enough beds. We're always short of beds, and that's such a huge need, especially as the housing crisis that we live in. So our hope is to be able to expand, to grow, to have more beds, to have a community advocacy center. That's one of the first things on our list of wishes, to grow and to develop more into this community. Domestic Violence Awareness Month, I hope that we as a community can honor the lives of those that have been lost by making meaningful action. Together we can create a world where love, respect, and kindness triumph over violence and fear. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
And just a comment for you. When I first began, I began as a domestic violence prosecutor in Washington, D.C., and I remembered how difficult those cases were. And one day when I was really discouraged, my supervisor came to me and said, "Tony, what you're doing is homicide prevention. And so what you guys are doing is homicide prevention. That education you provide is so helpful, and you change lives. And thank you for what you do, and you and your staff. So thank you so much."
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Move on to item 5, which is our public comment period. This is where we invite the public to address the council. We ask that you state your name into the microphone. You keep your comments to 3 minutes or less, and then you sign the paper over by Holly. The time is now the public's.
I just want to take an opportunity to publicly thank Holly Potter. And will you come up, please? She's not happy with me, but I just got her a small gift to say thank you. And geez, I'm already emotional from the presentation before, but thank you. Holly does so much for me as the deputy recorder. She does a lot for you guys and for the fire department as the liaison. She does a lot of behind-the-scene things. She came to me early on and said, "I would like these council chambers to be mine." And I was like, "You can have them." She has learned how to do the live stream and the sound system better than anybody else here in the city. And everybody was happy to give that over to her. And the way she sets up the room and gets everything ready is really hard to duplicate. For staff meetings, she takes time to wipe down all these tables and make sure everything's clean for us. I know I can count on her to post all the agendas, minutes, recordings, and the packets to the state website. We're required by law to do those things, and she's so dependable on everything. I know the fire chief really appreciates her help in paying all their invoices, and I can't list all the things that she does because we just don't have time, but I do want to just tell her thank you, and because this is her last city council meeting tonight. She's taken a position somewhere else, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Holly. We will miss you.
Yes, thank you. We will miss you.
Thank you.
All right, would anyone else from the public like to? Seeing no one else come forward, I will close the public comment period and we'll move on to item 6. Item 6 is a request for deviation from design standard for the towns at Mountain View. This is presented by Andrew Agard, the Community Development Director.
Thank you, Chairman Brady, members of the City Council. You probably remember that we brought this to a work session early in August to show you what was being requested. At that time, the City Council directed staff to look into the ordinance and to bring back to them some options to consider. The applicant at the time still wanted to move this through the public process and get a formal decision. So we went to Planning Commission and presented it to them. At that meeting, they recommended against the deviation, citing a desire to maintain the code and avoid any kind of spot changes. So it is now before the City Council for a decision. I just wanted to emphasize the basis behind these deviation requests. Number one, these deviation requests and the justification for those requests need to be made by the applicant, not by staff or by the City Council or anybody else. So I believe the applicant and the representative are here tonight to discuss that if the City Council would like to hear from them. They also need to demonstrate that they meet the 5 findings that are on the screen or the overhead. And if they meet those 5 findings, then they would be qualified for that deviation. What exactly are they asking for? It's for the Towns at Mountain View development, the unbuilt townhouse development on the south side of the city next to the Gopher Foods. And these were the elevations that were previously approved. They meet the current requirements for exterior brick and stone. And the applicant would like to receive approval to construct these elevations, as you see. These are the front and the side. What they're proposing is a reduction in the amount of stone instead of 50% down to 20%. Basically, that would be a stone wainscot with some stone around the entrances, as well as the rest of the building being stucco and hardyboard cement siding. And then the rear facade of the building also is 20% stone with similar materials. So that's the nature of the design request. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer for you. If you'd like to speak to the applicant, I'm sure they'd be willing to address you as well. So.
Any questions or comments?
I just wanted to know, we're working on maybe changing our, why doesn't he want to wait till we've gone through that process? It just seems like it makes more sense to me.
Yeah, I'm working on getting some language back to you based upon our work session.
Right.
And moving that through the process. I haven't got that quite ready yet, but we are in process.
It's a little quick, it was just last meeting, so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering if this ought to be put off till then, unless the applicant wants to have a decision tonight with current code the way it is, you know?
I think they would like to have a decision.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And again, I respect that the applicant's request. I understand. I remember their comments from the last meeting. It seems to be a financial issue that's driving this. My concern is consistency on how we apply this, and I understand the nature of a deviation, but looking at those standards, I don't see how they apply to this. I don't see how it meets the standards which we would hold every other applicant to, and for that reason, I can't support it.
I felt like we were pretty explicit in our work session. I don't have further thoughts.
All right. If there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion. Unless the applicant has something they want to say, sorry.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. I'm Andy Warr, resident here of Tooele, and I represent the builder who is buying the project from the former developer. So, Councilman Graff is right. This is kind of driven by a cost situation. Andrew Agard made a good presentation in the work meeting about the different costs of materials, and he didn't touch a whole lot on the costs of labor. The cost to install the cultured stone and brick is a little bit more than twice the cost of of what it is to install the stucco, the siding, the other materials. Another concern that we do have is that with the 50% stone and the design that we inherited from that we have to keep so that we can keep all those guidelines in, there is a significant amount of stone on the second story above where the lower roofs come. And that creates a flashing situation at the wall and the roof that over time is subject to deterioration that a lot of other situations with materials such as hardy board and stucco, they're not subject to. So that creates a problem for the future HOA, for other things that go along. So there are other things that come along there. We are trying to keep the price point of these homes lower so that people can qualify for the state grants that have become available. Hopefully we will be in the 370s, and by the time you come up with the land and the permit cost and the design and engineering, you've already spent over $100,000 per door for the homes. And so, yes, it is a significant thing. Councilman Hanson brought up, why don't we just wait for the ordinance? The ordinance isn't here yet. We don't have a date on that. And as we continue to wait, construction loan interest continues to accrue. And so at some point you have to decide, are we going to move forward or are we not? And so that's where we're at. I do appreciate that you have entertained this and allowed it to be on your schedule. I would hope that you would see some of these things in the same light that we do. I appreciate your time. Do you have any questions?
Any questions?
I have to agree with Ed, because this was on our last meeting, and it was the last meeting. Yeah, it was in the work section. And we mentioned then that we were going to address some of those things in that ordinance, if I'm not mistaken. But we've not had a chance to do that. And now you're back basically saying you don't want to wait. And you want us to act on something that we're not really comfortable acting on without going through what we were trying to go through that probably could address this. But I have to agree with Tony. I can't. We were pretty clear a week ago that we were going to look at this, and you would think you would give us just a little more time to look at it. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
And because it's only been 2 weeks, but it's your call.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we do not approve ordinance 2023-40, an ordinance, I do not approve the request for deviation for design standards for the townhomes at Mountain View.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Graff, a second from Councilwoman Manzione. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
Councilman Graff?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
And Councilman Brady also vote aye. So that gets a 5-0 negative recommendation. Item 7 is ordinance 2023-40, an ordinance of Tooele City, amending Tooele City Code Section 11-1-12 regarding camping. This is presented by Adrian Day, Police Chief.
Thank you, Council. I came to you in the work meeting giving you numbers and examples. This ordinance is to change the definition of camping under our criminal code 11-1-2. It's modeled after Ogden City's definition. Great attorneys there, it's pointed out. This change is not for campers at Grandma and Grandpa, but for camping that is not just unappealing, but unsafe, unsanitary, and a health risk. We're getting more numbers, more complaints every day from this type of camping. It changes it from just living in a tent, fly, lean-to, or and having camping equipment to establishing temporary or permanent living or sleeping accommodations, including in vehicles, just using bedding, does include tents still, cooking, fire, and it excludes park activities, sports, and brief napping. And I ask that you approve this ordinance, and I'm ready to answer any questions you may have.
We discussed this in the work meeting. Any questions since the work meeting? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve ordinance 2023-40, amending Tooele City Code Section 11-1-12 regarding camping.
Second.
A motion from Councilwoman Manzio and a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman Graff?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzio?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye. Thanks, Chief. That passes 5-0. Item 8 is Resolution 2023-86, a resolution of the Tooele City Council authorizing payment of fee in lieu of water rights conveyance for the Microtel Moda Hotel project, presented by Jared Stewart, the Economic Development Director.
Good evening, Council. This project has come to you before already for a water fee in lieu request. And at that time, they had estimated what they thought was the amount of water that was needed. And since that, in particular, as they're applying for their building permits, I guess it's been recalculated, right? And they need more acre feet of water than they originally anticipated. Paul's been working closely with them to estimate what that amount would be, and we have accurate figures for that now. They need an additional 1.24 acre feet of water for the development. Just to reiterate it, it is, let's see. I didn't put the number of, I didn't put on the resolution the number of units, or rooms, but I think it's 91. If I'm getting a nod. So it's 91 rooms. That will come with jobs. Importantly, sales tax and transient room sales tax as well. So the request at this time is to approve an additional purchase or sale to them of the fee in lieu, payment of fee in lieu for water rights, not sale, I guess, payment of the fee in lieu of 1.2 acre feet of water.
I think the resolution says 93 rooms.
Oh, okay.
So it's 91.
I think it is 91, so I may have put it on the resolution incorrectly if it's 93, so.
I think it was originally 93.
Okay, and maybe it's dropped to, maybe in the former resolution it was 93, so.
Is this all primarily outdoor or indoor water use, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, any other questions or comments? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve Resolution 2023-86 as stated with the correction.
I'll second it.
We have a motion from Councilman McCall, a second from Councilman Hanson. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzio?
Aye.
Councilman Graff?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye. That passes 5-0. Thanks, Jared.
Thank you, Council.
Item 9 is invoices and purchase orders. This is presented by Michelle Pitt, the City Recorder.
Thank you. We have an invoice to Ray Rig Pacific Company for 702 garbage cans, $45,544.64. And then we have an invoice to Tooele County. We got a grant through COG, the Council of Governments, for the Main Street parking project. We were able to complete the project under budget. So we need to return $37,536.11 back to the county. And then we have an invoice from the Tooele County Sheriff's Office for dispatch fees for the third quarter, $82,842. I did have a question about bringing the dispatch fees to you every time. You guys do approve the contract with them for dispatch fees. And usually on those types of contracts, I don't bring those back every time we get an invoice. But instead, when we pay the invoices, I let you know through the purchase order summary report. In the past, though, we've had some council members really want us to bring these every time, and I'll keep doing that if you'd like, but I just thought I'd ask you if you guys would still like those brought every time.
The contract, it's a year, right? Once a year we approve it.
But you pay it every quarter.
Pardon me?
But you pay it every quarter, right?
Yeah, we pay it quarterly.
Is there, what percent deviation is there from the original contract price versus what the actual price? Because I imagine there's some variance.
Well, Shannon, do you know?
They bill it.
Okay.
Yeah, did you hear they bill
I
us
didn't.
exactly to the penny of the contract, so.
I don't think we.
I don't
I don't
think we
see
need
the
it.
point of bringing it back if we've approved it, right? We've talked.
If
And
we
it
approved
comes-
it and it's the right price.
Yeah, and it'll be on that spreadsheet anyway.
So long as there isn't a deviance, it seems duplicative.
Unless it's a decrease, and then by all means.
Okay. If that ever happens.
Okay?
Okay, so you guys are okay if we don't bring them every time,
Yes.
right? Okay. Okay.
Just once a year.
All right. Is there a motion on the invoices and purchase orders?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the invoices.
Second.
A motion from Councilman Hanson, a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take the vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman Graff?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye.
Okay,
It passes
thank you.
5-0. Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Michelle.
Item 10 is our minutes from September 20th, 2023 work meeting and September 20th, 2023 business meeting. Any changes to the minutes? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve the minutes for them 2 meetings.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
Councilman Graff?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye. That passes 5-0. And item 11 is to adjourn. We're adjourned at 7:44.